It's gonna. Can you just see if it's working on stream? Okay.
Actually, one of the members has just confirmed it's working, so okay. That's fine. Sounds like it's that's fine. Okay, I'll just tap.
Andy's just tapping the mic now. Can you hear that? It's not coming up with an option to view the broadcast. So Emily, I've got you on loudspeaker. What did you say?
Yeah,
Sorry, so on the video options, there's nothing for the performance name.
yeah, Councillor, it's Andy, the technician operating the equipment.
Yes, it is. It's the same issue we had last time. It just needs to catch up. Yeah, we think it'll come back on again. So it is fixed. We're back on, and we'll go back on at 25 past. Members, we're about to go live again. If we can just remind anyone who's watching where we are on the agenda, please, Councillor Harris. Yep, we're back on now.
Okay, after the short break, we're returning to agenda item 2018-19. Willis has just presented. Are there any questions?
No one's indicated.
Okay, Andrew, have you got any questions at your end?
No, no one's indicated.
Okay, I'll take it that, I mean, given the nature of the report, I can understand. I'll take it that we're able to note the report move to the next item, but I'll pause for 10 seconds as previously in case any member disagrees. Okay, I've not got any others. So let's move on to the next item. Now that's approved. Move on to item 11, pre-alert trial, pages 141 to 154 of your agenda packs. Hugh Coates will present this item. Hugh.
Morning, Chair. Morning, members. I'm going to present agenda item 11, which is a summary of the first 4 months of the pre-alert system, which went live in Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service on the 1st of February 2020. I'm hoping that members have some awareness of what the pre-alert system is, but by way of a brief background, the pre-alert system has been proven to improve the response times of operational crews attending incidents and has been utilised in a neighbouring fire and rescue service. The system was developed by North West Fire Control, and just briefly, it works by intercepting a call made to North West Fire Control prior to the call handling processes, and then alerting the nearest appliance to that call of the potential incoming incident. This enables crews to ready themselves for a potential incident. They can don PPE, they can gather around the fire appliance, and obviously has benefits and is likely to decrease resulting attendance times. The pre-alert system, the notification works via the usual station ends or via the mobile data terminal on the appliances if the appliance is mobile. And for on-call crews, the alert is received via their existing personal issue alerters. The tone's identical to that of a standard mobilisation, and the crews respond to station as normal as well. An initial small-scale trial was introduced in Cheshire in April 2019 across 6 stations, a mix of hold time and on-call, in order to prove the system, the benefits of the system, and identify any unintended consequences of the system as well. So there were 6 stations selected to participate in this trial, and the trial was, broadly speaking, a success. It demonstrated improvements in attendance times and mobilisation times across all duty systems, but it confirmed our pre-trial suspicions that the main beneficiaries were the on-call crews, some of whom were seeing 70 to 90 seconds improvements in their turnout times in comparison to the data for the previous year where the pre-alert system wasn't in place. So following approval from SMT in November 2019, it was agreed to roll out the pre-alert system throughout the county. Learning from some of the experiences of our neighbours, we identified that ongoing communication with the operational crews who this was affecting was of paramount importance. So we made sure that we put in a robust and comprehensive package of communication prior to going live with the system. And we've continued to share results. So we measure the performance of stations individually on a monthly basis. And we share these results with the crews, and we invite them to provide qualitative feedback to a pre-alert inbox, which has been specifically set up for that purpose. And what we're asking them to provide there are to identify any unintended consequences of the system, any impact on their workload, on the daily business business as usual activities that they undertake, just so we have kind of full sight of the overall impact of the system. If I just draw your attention to paragraph 18, this highlights an average improvement in terms of seconds across the 3 duty systems that we operate in Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service. So we're seeing improvements across all 3 duty systems, but particularly if I draw your attention to the on-call stations, they're on average seeing improvements of 73.9 seconds. So in terms of further considerations for this, we could look at this reduction in turnout times to potentially expand the catchment area for on-call stations, where we have stations with issues in terms of recruitment. We could potentially extend that the standard 5-minute turnout time, or we could also use it to amend the system within North West Fire Control to increase the overall operational exposure that those on-call stations get. It's recommended, however, just to the limited data that we so far have, that we continue to gather more information and more data for the next 6 months before we make any decisions in that area. In terms of ongoing costs, there is some systems costs. In 2018 to 19, these costs Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service £3,500. And there is an increase in on-call pay claims as well for the increased frequency at which they're attending station, because not all pre-alerts will lead to an incident. In the first 4 months of this trial, around £10,000 was paid for attendances that didn't result in incidents. However, there is ongoing work to identify and reduce these false alarms, and so it's anticipated that this figure will go down, and it also needs to be offset against the increased operational exposure and obviously the decreased attendance times that crews are seeing. If I draw your attention to Appendix A, this lists the average decrease in time that we've seen for each operational appliance, and this data is compared against a similar time period in the previous year where the pre-alert system wasn't in place. So we're seeing improvements across most appliances. There's a notable exception for Frodsham Echo 06 Papa 1, and we've actually escalated that to the station just to investigate what the reasons are behind that. We think it may be increased traffic flow in the local area, but we also see some very notable successes. So Echo 03 Papa 1, which is Stockton Heath's on-call appliance, they're seeing improvements in mobilisation times of, on average, 1 minute and 27 seconds, which is very significant. Similar figures shown on Echo 05 Papa 2, which is Runcorn's second on-call appliance. And again, Congleton's appliance, Echo 18 Papa 1, we're looking at 1 minute 40 decrease in mobilisation times to all operational incidents. Happy to take your questions.
Thank you, Hugh. Are there any questions? Andrew, can you confirm you've had anything at your end?
No, there are no questions from members at this point.
Okay. James, do you want to speak?
No, I just to say that all of this seems absolutely fantastic news. I think it's absolutely brilliant idea, and well done to everyone.
Excellent, yes. Okay.
Councillor Daniels has indicated she wishes to speak.
Can I speak?
Yes, yes.
I just I missed what you said, how the system works. Would you mind repeating that, please? Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So without going into too great technical depth, when you make a phone call to North West Fire Control, that phone call, the data sent from your phone passes through a number of IT gateways. And how the pre-alert system operates is it will grab that data prior to the call actually being answered at North West Fire Control. And it will identify, the initial sort of data set will identify a rough location of where the call is coming from. So it will take that information, it will match it to the nearest available fire appliance, and it will send a pre-alert message to that fire appliance. It could be that the call turns out to be a false alarm. It might be that there's no response from the fire service required. So that's where we get these pre-alerts that don't then lead to incidents. But it could equally be a life risk incident, and obviously by alerting the crews potentially 90 seconds sooner, because it's a 90-second call handling target that North West Fire Control work to. They're going to be more operationally ready, and then that should lead to improvements in attendance times as well. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine.
Can I just ask further? So what's the cost involved?
So the initial setup cost for the system was actually taken up by Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service. There's some ongoing maintenance costs which are referenced under the paragraph 23. So it was £3,500 last year, and that'll be roughly the same this year. And that's just a figure that's split between the 4 fire and rescue services that North West Fire Control serves.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'll do the same, players. previously. We'll move to note the report and move to the next agenda item. And I'll wait 10 seconds in case any member disagrees. Okay. Okay, thank you for that, members. Let's move on to the next item. Move on to agenda item 12, Safeguarding Annual Report 2019-20. Find these on pages 147 to 154 of your pack, and Nick Evans will present this item. Nick?
Yep, thank you, Chair. Morning, members. My name is Nick Evans. I'm Head of Prevention, and I'll be taking you through this annual safeguarding report. As per our Safeguarding Children and Safeguarding Adults policy, it's a requirement to provide an annual report to Performance Review Committee. And this report outlines the number of safeguarding referrals that were made by Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service from the 1st of June 2019 to the 31st of May 2020. It also highlights some progress and future developments we're looking at bringing into place this and next year. So during this period, members, there has been 16 children's safeguarding referrals submitted, and on all occasions, the referrals have complied with the policy. During the reporting period also, there has been 28 adult safeguarding referrals submitted, and again, on all occasions, the referrals have complied with the policy. And looking at the audit and reading the report, it's apparent that all the referrals taken place have been complying with, and the Safeguarding Children and Adult policy and procedure is effective and well embedded within the organisation. Just some points I'd like to highlight. A recent external local Safeguarding Children Board and local Safeguarding Adult Board audit had been conducted to ensure that all frontline staff were aware of the internal referral process, and that came back really positive, and it was proved that all staff were compliant. So moving on, keeping up with the theme with the COVID-19 pandemic, the service produced a number of briefings aimed at highlighting the staff to be extra vigilant throughout this period, a temporary cessation of some of the youth engagement programmes and our safe and well visits due to lockdown may have promoted a decrease in referrals in this area from the prevention team activities. It's also fair to say from the report that our staff are engaging with and working with some of the most vulnerable people of Cheshire in the community, and some of the quite complex issues and lived experiences. And just like to point out future developments that the department and the service are looking at to introduce: review both policies, review of hours work and referral process, looking at some additional mental health training service for staff who directly face-to-face work with children and young people, safeguarding training for managers, which is due to be refreshed because we do this every 2 years, and also post-referral follow-up briefings to be provided to all operational staff, ensuring that we close the loop and the operational staff get a full understanding of the picture and what's happened, and we've assisted those families and people we've been dealing with. And that's really all I wanted to say, members, but I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Okay, any questions indicated? Andrew?
No questions.
Okay. All right, I'll just pause there. Okay. I believe we're able to note this report again and move on to the next item, but I'll pause for 10 seconds in case any member disagrees. Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next item. Can I just remind members also that we, at the cessation of this meeting, we'll have a 5-minute comfort break and be moving on to the closure of accounts committee remote meeting that we need to take care of today as well. So move on to the next item. Please turn to page 155, which is item 13, Forward Work Programme. I'll ask Andrew Ledbetter to confirm whether there's anything to add to the plan first. Okay, Andrew?
I don't think there's anything to add to it from today. I think what we've tried to do is split this meeting and your next meeting so they are reasonably balanced in terms of the volume of reports. So you'll see that there's some stuff highlighted in red
for today, which we've moved over to the 2nd of September meeting. So it's probably going to be a similar size of agenda or similar number of reports to deal with. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything else I can add.
Okay, thanks for that. Was there anything any member wanted to raise for the forward work programme? No? Okay. Right. Can I just take the opportunity, by the way, as chair, to say thank you to both members and officers for their patience and discipline in these meetings. I'm not a fan of online meetings myself. It's very frustrating sometimes. What we'll do now is we'll pause for 10 seconds to see if any member disagrees with approving the work programme, and then I'll close this meeting and move on to the next meeting after a 5-minute break. So just do the 10-second pause.
Councillor Daniels has asked whether she can speak.
Of course you can.
Oh,
yes.
Was that earlier? Actually, no, that was earlier.
Oh, no, it's earlier. Okay.
So,
fair enough.
I think the meeting can be closed.
Okay, I think the 10 seconds have gone, haven't they? Okay, we'll close the meeting. Thank you for your attendance, and we'll have a 5-minute direct comfort break, and then we need to reconvene to go through the meeting of the closure of accounts committee. Okay, thank you.